Back to Raymond Dolan's hand. This time he's going to squeeze a 10-7. Elects to fold. And now the Hungarian beach boy, Andres, with a king 10.
Well, another guy that's a very aggressive player. And he's going to fire it up here. Makes it 180,000 to go. The work wings his cards back into the muck.
And now Mr. Wing with a jack 9.
Does he know that you're allowed to fold? You know?
He's impressive.
He has just come to play.
No, he doesn't know that concept. He's called it. Let's see if he gets lucky. Flop is 9-7-4, all hearts. Tree Wing with the 9s. Tree checked it. And now Andres with nothing hitting there. He's going to make the continuation bet, 285.
Well, Vince Tree's got the kind of hand that most people are just going to check raise right here with his hand. You've got top pair and a flush draw.
But no, he's just going to call it.
And now the deuce of hearts comes off. So he has the best hand with the flush. Has his opponent drawing dead, but I'm sure he doesn't know that. See what he's going to do here with the jack high flush. He's going to check.
Now the Hungarian gets none of that, but he's riffling chips. Does he dare?
Well, the ever aggressive Hungarian looks like he's going to fire again, Vince.
Well,
he's fired shell number 2 here. Bluffing this pot, 480,000 this time.
Just hoping against hope that Wing has no heart and will disappear into the night.
Now you might be saying, well, there's only 3 cards can beat him, the ace, king, or queen of hearts, but if you're sitting there with a jack high flush, you're saying, what else could this guy be betting but a big heart?
480. 480.
He's either bluffing or he's got me dead.
He's making his call.
Well, what a great call by Tree here. Just reading Andres as a bluffer. And now the queen of diamonds comes off. So nothing has changed. Tree has the best hand with the jack high flush, but let's see what's going to happen on this street.
And Tree is going to check again. And say it ain't so.
Unbelievable.
He's going to load up again.
The European is going for another load of chips, it looks like. He is going to fire a 3rd shell at this pot on a bluff. Forget the shell, it's artillery here, over $1 million bet.
This incredible heart by Andres, the Hungarian. But this is not an easy call by Tree. What will he do?
Very tough call to make, Vince. More than half the chips he's got left.
Call.
And he is going to make the call.
He's gonna do it.
Well, Andres had just folded his hand as soon as he said call. Talk about Hart making the bet. What about Hart making the call with the jack high flush?
I don't have to show, right?
Tree says, do I have to show mine?
The guy mucked his cards. The answer is no.
But that is the call of the night. So well done by Tree Wing.
Play online poker for real cash and prizes at WPT Global. Sign up for free today and get a free entry into a $100,000 guaranteed tournament.
Not so sure he's upset about it anymore.
All right, back to the felt we go. Andrew Roble, a quick fold, and now Antonio Esfandiari with just 8-4. He's going to raise. Makes it 325,000 to go.
Well, Vanessa looking him up with a king 7 here, just not buying it that he's got a hand.
We're going to see the first 3. Here they are. And it's a queen jack 10. Big open-ended for Vanessa. Antonio.
Quickly reaching for chips. Now betting 470,000. And without hesitation, Vanessa calls him with the open-end straight draw.
Yeah, she doesn't believe him. And here comes the turn.
Well, now a king comes off. So Vanessa now has 2 kings, but you're fearful your opponent's got a straight here, Vince. King, queen, jack 10 on the board.
And look at this. Antonio is going to bet nevertheless with absolute poppycock.
Well, Vince, the only way you could possibly call him here was to think he had absolutely nothing, just like he does have. And Vanessa has made this call.
Oh, that's a brilliant read by Vanessa.
Unbelievable what a call this is. Now a 7 comes off. She's now made 2 pair.
Doesn't help Antonio. Can he possibly fire 3 times?
I'm all in.
Whoa! Not just fire, he's gone all in.
Unbelievable bet. Now, Vince, I'm sure because she didn't raise on the turn, he's not putting her on an ace. She might have a 9, but she is staring him down. Vince, she just senses he's at it, as we say, that he's just making a move here, which indeed he is. But folks, to pull the trigger for all your money with no hand in this spot, that takes a lot of heart. Antonio's got that.
Well, you're right, Vanessa was on him.
You did say that you were going to bluff me on television. Remember that yesterday? You said I'm going to bluff you on television.
Well, that is good info because that's exactly what's going on here. He's trying to make the biggest deal of the year on the WPT.
Well, Vince, because he said that yesterday, she suspects this is the time that he's doing it. That's why she called him on the turn with kings.
That river really helped me.
And why she might call him here with kings and 7s. But Vince, this would be the greatest call we've seen in years on the World Poker Tour.
Now I beat a lot of other hands.
The magician is blowing up smoke and mirrors right now. And Vanessa would make the call of the year if she can figure this out, if she can read her man correctly. But there's so much pressure on her. Will she do it?
I don't think you bluffed me twice.
She's got to make the laydown. The magician saws the woman in half.
Well, Vince, in my view, you got to give both these players kudos for the way they played this hand.
Show it, show it, show it.
Antonio bluffing the pot all the way down. Vanessa suspecting it.
Can't show bluff.
All right, this has been folded around to Sean, the chip leader. He's got about 3.6 million in chips with just a 7-3, Mike.
Yeah, really not much of a hand, but he's going to raise it, it looks like, just to try to pick up the blinds and antes here.
Yeah, 65,000 into Darren with just a Jack-8. But he kind of knows what's happening here. He's going to make the call. So a 7-3 up against a Jack-8. And there's an 8 on the flop and a 7.
Well, Sean has flopped bottom pair. Darren has flopped middle pair and a gut shot straight draw, as you can see.
And Sean's going to come out with a continuation bet. It looks like 80,000 with his 7s. And Darren, of course, with the 8s. And a straight draw is going to make the call.
And now a Jack comes off.
Now,
So now Darren has 2 pair.
but Sean first to act is not going to slow down. He's getting more chips out, it looks like. Yep. 160,000 into Darren.
Even though Darren's got 2 pair, he's frozen here because there's a possible straight out there and a possible flush, as you can
Can't
see.
have that many chips, though, Mike. You just fire here and just gamble.
I think you do just what he's doing. You make the call with 2 pair and the straight flush draw.
All right, he's in front, and the river card helps neither player.
King of clubs comes off. An all-in bet by Sean Kunix. What a play this is. And even though Darren has 2 pair, he's fearful his opponent's got a flush, a straight. Just wouldn't think he would make this kind of play with 2 pair or trips with a possible flush and straight out there. But I know one thing. You're sitting in Darren's seat. It's a tough, tough, tough call to make here for all your dough. If he's got the straight or flush, you're reporting to the rail and you're out of here in 6th place.
Well, this could be the turning point for Darren. If he should make this, it would be a spectacular call. He would double up.
Well, you only call this if you think your opponent's bluffing,
Oh.
Vince. That's all.
He's gonna lay it down.
Just too much pressure.
Yeah,
You
it was
can't
pressure.
do it for all your chips. I don't blame Darren for laying that hand down, but you just got to take your hat off to this Ohio State Buckeye. He played that hand with the precision of the Ohio State marching band, I can tell you that.
To WPT champion Tom Marchese, with over $7.5 million in live tournament earnings, has raised it to $55,000 with King 10 suited.
Pretty standard raise pre-flop from Tom.
Lock folds. Actions on Mercier.
Jason Mercier folding Queen Jack suited, I guess 25 big blinds to an early position Marchese raise. He feels like it's a fold in that spot. I might have even considered 3-betting, but can't really blame Jason.
Well, Queen Jack certainly not as good as Jack Jack, and that is what 41-year-old Wichita, Kansas native Brandon Steven has. He is considered the amateur in this particular field, which isn't entirely accurate. He's got over 1.9 million in live tournament earnings, but certainly doesn't play for a living, Olivier.
Yeah, Brandon's a very talented, very good player, but at the same time, he's up against the top players in the world. So compared to this field, he would definitely be considered an amateur.
Brandon defends his big blind, and we head to the flop heads up. That flop, ace 4-3. Brandon, can't love the ace out there on the flop. Checks it over to Tom.
Doesn't love it, but also can't fold either to just one bet.
And that bet, 55,000.
Tom with 2 backdoor draws, and king high decides to go for continuation bet. Pretty dry board, very reasonable play from Tom.
Stephen makes the call to turn the 9 of spades. Stephen checks.
And so this is where it starts to get interesting. Tom Marchese has picked up a flush draw, a lot of added equity here, and this is where players start to really throw in bluffs. Tom is going to continuation bet here. It'll be interesting to see if he gets called, what he does on the river.
And indeed, Stephen has made the call of 150,000.
So a stubborn call here from Brandon Stephen. He happens to be right. Of course, if Tom did have an ace, he'd be drawing very thin.
River card is a 7 of hearts, an air ball from Marchese, and now Stephen checking a third time, and with 568,000 in the middle, what do you do if you're Tom? Will Tom wave the white flag, or will the 2010 Card Player of the Year get after it? And he is going to get after it, betting 410,000.
And this is the play. This is the type of play that separates the highest level best pros from everyone else. Their willingness and ability to identify these situations where their opponents are a little bit weak and they go for it with 3 strong barrels.
That's in.
And Stephen knows it's way too difficult to make the call with 2 jacks. Lays it down.
Really great play there from Tom.
Tom Marchese, the 2010 Card Player of the Year.
Play online poker for real cash and prizes at WPT Global. Sign up for free today and get a free entry into a $100,000 guaranteed tournament.
He actually finished 3rd in that event.
He's out.
Next is Andrea Carini. 1 of 4 tie-ins at this final table.
He's also going to fold, and now the Russian, Renat Bogdanov, 30 years old, picks up a 9-7.
He's the only non-professional player at the table, works in finance.
Well, he's going to finance his hand because he's just raised it to 33,000. Gianluca out. And now Alessandro Longobardi, 31 years old, out of Naples. Not going to play it.
So round to the big blind, the chip leader, Andrea Dato. He looks down at ace-queen.
Yeah, pretty strong.
Well, most players as chip leaders in this spot would probably just 3-bet right here, but see what he's going to do.
Nope. Just going to walk the dog, just going to call the Russian.
Well, taking the conservative route here on hand number 1. Comes the flop. King 8-4.
Helps neither player. Andrea Dato going to quickly check, and let's see if the Russian makes the continuation bet with 9 high. He's getting chips out.
Well, he is doing it, man.
Yeah.
This is his first ever WPT event. Only been playing poker 3 years, but he has come to play.
45,000 with nothing. But Dato's got to be stubborn. He's going to stick around with his ace high.
Thinks the ace high might be good, and it is. Board pairs 8s.
Dato not hitting there. He's checking again.
Now the Russian checks right behind him this time.
Can't blame him. He's slowing down. River card coming up. It's a queen. Good for Dato.
Dato's got to believe he's got the best hand right now after his opponent checked on the turn.
And he's coming out to bet 45,000 like he should. Now the 30-year-old out of Saratov, Russia.
Look at this, Vince.
He's only been playing poker for 3 years, but what is he doing here?
Most people would have just quickly mucked that hand. He is getting out raising chips.
Certainly is, Mike.
But it's just the min raise, Vince. He's bet 90,000.
That is scary.
Now with that raise, there's over 300,000 in the pot. Only going to cost Dato 45,000 to call. He's a huge chip leader, so.
That move is so bad, it actually could be good.
Well,
I can't believe this.
can't
Will it
possibly
work,
lay
though?
this down for
No, you
45,000.
wouldn't think. Oh boy, he's going to do it. He's laid it down.
Unbelievable. Oh,
And that's just not the way to get there, is it, Phil?
If he keeps playing like that, he'll be right back in the hardware store where we've all been, by the way.
I know it. All right. Back to this hand. Exia out. Rocco
40.
picking up the weapons of mass destruction. Look at this. Just like that pair of aces. Makes it 40,000 to go. Sexton out. And Marcello now with a 10-8. He's going to call with it. Right behind him, Robbie, 43-year-old, who also lives in Italy. He's got a queen 10 of clubs.
Not a bad place to make a squeeze, because if he gets away with it, he wins both 40K bets and the antes in the middle.
But he's not going to squeeze. He's just calling with
That's
his
good.
queen 10. Lucky for him, Rocco's sitting on 2 out of bombs there. Pair of aces. What a time to get him.
American Airlines, yeah, great time.
And we are flopping. And look at this. A queen 7-4. That gives Robbie top pair of queens. Uh-oh.
And Rocco, to start this hand, had 575,000, so...
But hold the press. Look at this. Marcello, who got nothing of that, is going to bet. He's going to lead out.
Marcello bets the air ball for 126,000.
Mamma mia.
Now, Robbie has a decision to make here. I mean, he's most likely going to raise this, but then...
Top pair.
Raise.
Yeah, he's going to push it. He's going to be in a lot of
He
trouble.
raised pretty quickly here. I mean, basically, he's in a lot of trouble here because behind him is aces.
Yeah.
He's putting in 200
252. This could be a huge hand.
Now Rocco moves in.
Well, I can't believe this. Rocco has folded the hand.
Okay, this just doesn't make any sense. It's a queen. Well, what is
The guy flopped 2 pair of set or something, but it's a very, very tight fold. Horrible fold.
Okay.
And Marcello, of course, has to go out. This is pretty shocking, Phil.
That was a stunningly bad fold there.
Well, he does. He's been playing great poker. 10 WPT cashes, runner-up, the 5 diamond on season 16 here on the World Poker Tour. And he takes that one down. Now we move on. The ER doctor now picking up ace 10. Big cards happening early here. Eli is from Newton, Massachusetts. He's going to make a raise, makes it a total of 40.
Over to Isaac. Used to call him West Menlo AA online. He was a prolific and very successful tournament player in the days of online poker.
Everybody folding, and now Sam Panzica from Michigan, now lives in Lauderdale, making the call with Queen Jack. Going to splash around. Here we go with the flop. Oh, it's a big ace king 8. That is beautiful there for Eli.
And there's just enough on this flop for Sam that he might continue versus small bet. He does have a gut shot to the nuts, and this is a texture he expects his opponent to continuation bet.
All right, what is your solver saying about this?
The solver says you should probably call because your opponent's betting 100% of the time. So you've got some equity here and an opportunity to bluff if your opponent checks back the turn, which he probably will on that king.
Yeah, that's a scary card if you're Eli. You're just saying this guy could have a king. Will it slow him down?
I will be pretty surprised if Eli bets here. It's a bad card for him. There you go. Knuckles it. We get a 8 on the river, and that's an interesting card for Sam because now if he peeled the flop with any of the second or third pair combinations, he has a full house. And Eli has to be concerned that his ace is no longer good. So Sam recognizes he doesn't have a lot of showdown value here. It's going to try and represent that full house and bets 130,000. And Eli, as you can tell with the hand on the chin, is going to struggle with this one.
Well, that's what's tough about playing against tough players. Even when they don't have it, they make this kind of predicament. You got top pair, big kicker, and just things go south very quick. But it's the robbery, the thievery, the imagination of Sam. It's just a tough call to make, though. You got your ace. You had to slow down on the turn because of the king, and then at 8 hits. Let's see if he does the right thing. Oh, no. And he's going to drop it.
A solver might say that you should call with ace-9 and fold ace-10 or ace-jack because you've got a blocker to some of the combinations your opponent's going to bluff with.
All right. Look at Mike Sexton picking up ace-king. He likes it. He'll make it 3,000 to go.
Yevgeny here with the 9-8 suited. Deciding between a call and a 3-bet. Call this time.
Darren and Tom go out. Mosin will also fold. Scotty not going to play, so here we go. Ace-king versus a 9-8 of hearts. Mike has been card dead for a while, but now he picks up ace, king. He flops the top two pair of aces and kings. Mike's bet. He's bet 3,000. Yevgeny with a 4 flush.
Big flop for both players here going to the turn. A harmless deuce of clubs. Good looking card for Mike.
Looking pretty solid. Bets 5,500.
A little surprised at Mike's sizing there. About 15K in the pot and a coordinated board texture. Bets 55. Now to Yevgeny. And he has a decision between calling or raising. He's definitely getting a price to see the river, but maybe he thinks Mike's bet size is a little weak or suspicious.
18,000.
He is going to pop it. Makes it 18 total.
So perhaps Yevgeny read that bet size as Mike having one pair of aces that he was just trying to get to showdown with. Turns out he has top 2 pair, but he looks pretty uncomfortable.
It's going to take more time.
I think this is way too big a hand to be folding here, Vince. I'm a little surprised to see Mike taking his time. Oh no! Oh no!
All right, Yevgeny's bluff is going to work.
Oh, yikes.
Mike just didn't want to get aggravated and go broke with that hand.
Vince, you may not talk to me for a while about that one, I know. I know you were going to give me a lecture.